With Bitcoin testing new highs, is $40,000 really on the agenda for this week? Market sentiment certainly feels positive as we head into this week. And again, what is the retail investor truly doing when it comes to cryptocurrency right now? We're going to break it down in this video, as well as taking a look at the week ahead so that you can make the best decisions for your financial portfolio. All of that, as much more in this video. Be sure to subscribe to keep up to date and all of that. Now, taking a look at the global market, let me just refresh dead quick. 1.18 trillion, another 2.7%, $28,206. Boy, does that feel good to talk about a 28k Bitcoin. 4.5% up, 28.8% up on the week. Now, don't be fooled though. We have to tread with an air of caution given the reason for this market move. The banks are struggling, albeit are being bailed out. FTX is also still kicking around in the fallout from that. But what we can say is retail investment right now is absolutely buying hard. 1810 on Ethereum, as well as a couple of other really strong looking coins. But that market cap at 1.18, do we see more upside coming? Well, it definitely certainly feels like it. If we take a look through the week, it says Bitcoin, the world's largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, has been making headlines recently as it broke through 27k for the first time. We now know 28,000 and it's holding there right now. Similar, ETH drew a strong buy interest with its value increasing by 24.5% to reach 1794. However, the reason for the upward rally can be attributed to the impact of inflation in the United States rather than hyperinflation. So we know we had issues with the banks. What did they do? They turned the money printers on. But we have the Fed meeting this week. And this is a crucial point for crypto, for this run right now. If the Fed comes in 50 basis points, which initially was where we thought we were going to get, the market, in my opinion, will absolutely stall and correct. If not, if we come in with 25, which is where the sentiment generally feels like it, or even 0, then strap your boots on, because it's certainly going to be a very interesting ride. Now, we'll take a look at the chart in a bit of detail in just one second. But furthermore, in this, it says it indicates that the value of the US dollar is decreasing, which is expected to encourage investors to seek out alternative forms of currency to safeguard their assets. As the dollar falls and the Bitcoin increases, people naturally come across to Bitcoin. It is seen as less risky, even though it's basically the same as it's always been. People see it as less risky, and certainly with the collapse of some of these banks, it's absolutely the same. As a result, Bitcoin, when it's decentralized and not connected to any government, could be viewed as a more stable investment option, thereby increasing demand and driving the price up even further. So this tweet from Anit says, the United States has been experiencing hyperinflation of the dollar for many years. Root cause of this problem is the Federal Reserve's monetary policy. The Fed has been printing money like there is no tomorrow, and this has led to a dramatic increase in money supply. We know 400 billion being chucked in to try and salvage anything out of some of these banks. Now, taking a look at the chart, we did test this 28.3 level a couple of times. Even in the last couple of hours, we've tested it and got rejected. So we are on an upward trend right now. You can see the 9-day EMA looking pretty solid, well above the 20-day as we move up, and MACD is looking pretty good as well, both looking bullish for a definite potential market uplift. Now, again, the Fed absolutely could be the chink in the armor, so to say, depending on what they come up with. But right now, the market is looking pretty bullish. You've got to go back a long way until we find any real resistance. Now, 32,000 would be our next stop. There isn't a lot between 32 and 39k, though. If we zoom all the way out, we'll have to go on a slightly higher time frame. So we're back here, look, this around here, 30,000. I think once we break 30k, you're talking all the way up here to 40. There isn't a lot, maybe a bit around 37, maybe a little touch around 34, but not any big levels of support or resistance. So it's definitely going to be, if we can break through this on the day, it's going to be a strong move up for Bitcoin. Like I said, all the indicators are certainly showing that way. What else do we have to support that? Well, the retail environment is buying Bitcoin. How do we know this? Well, there's a couple of measures we can take a look at. It says Glassnode shows that Shrimps, this is the small scale retail holder with between 0.1 and 1 BTC, ramped up their buying activity this week amid concerns of a banking collapse in the United States. People knew the market was going to move, and people still believe the market will continue. It says following the bank run on Silicon Valley Bank, the bankruptcy of Silvergate and the closure of Signature, there was fears that the market would collapse if the government and Federal Reserve would have failed to step in. These effects analysis predicted would have significantly impacted the financial markets, albeit not quite as aggressively as 2008. You can see there subsequently saw the Fed Reserve total asset increase by 397 billion in the week alone, partly winding up tightening efforts, again chucking in to try and support it. And we see BTC rallying, people getting into Bitcoin. People feel more safe in Bitcoin than they do right now in US dollars. And ultimately, that is the big thing we want to see. That will really start to pump the price. That will really push it. Now, if we take a look at a slightly lower time frame, just to give you an indication of exactly kind of what's going on in the markets right now, you can see we are testing this level. We tested it 3 times, got rejected, tried to push back up, again got rejected. So we could be in for a little bit of downside consolidation, or certainly it feels like we could trend sideways. We're on the 15-minute chart before making an attempt to push this. This could even take us until Tuesday, but I think once we break this 28, we're on our way to 30k, and then there's only a couple of stops before a $40,000 Bitcoin is on the cards. Who would have thought it? We're into March 19th. Absolutely crazy. We could even be talking about 40k Bitcoin, but I for one am here for it. And if you're not, follow me on Twitter. Also check me out over on Binance. I do a update feed on the Binance platform. Again, links in the description, so go and check it out. And as ever, subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with everything going on in the world of cryptocurrency. But 40k Bitcoin, drop in the comments, do you think it's likely or not? I certainly am here for it, and we'll keep you up to date with everything going on. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.